there needs to be a better solution that gets at the lenders, that doesn't let them off the hook. All they cared about, the mortgage lenders back a few years ago, all they cared about was just getting a closing, getting those upfront fees, because they knew they were not going to be left holding the bag. They could tell that what they were holding was not what it was claimed to be, but they didn't care because they were immediately going to pass it on to Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, or Bear Stearns or Lehman, who were going to take all these mortgages, bundle them up, and sell them on Wall Street. And so they didn't care. The goal there was simply get the closing, get the fees, get rid of the mortgage, who's next? It comes down to who's paying for all this. And we're paying, you and me and the taxpayers, we're the ones that are paying for this. But you know, what about the perpetrators? What about the people that helped create this mess? What about these mortgage lenders that were engaged in these deceptive practices? What about these large investors that were bundling these mortgages that had every warning sign they needed to say what we're bundling and selling to somebody else is not worth what it's claimed to be?
So what should happen to them?
Well, I think there needs to be investigations, and maybe some people need to go to jail. And some of the, you know, the CEO, let's take an example, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the CEOs of those companies, you know, they bring in something like $12 million a year in compensation. IndyMac, which just failed, their CEOs were making, in the past 5 years, have made $40 million in compensation. The Bear Stearns, the Lehman Brothers, all these people, it's not going to solve the problem. It's not going to pay back everything that we need, but there needs to be some accountability here. I help run something called the Consumer Warning Network, which is a web-based public service that run by professional fraud investigators looking at consumer issues. And we're talking about fraud. We're not talking about, oh, somebody made a mistake or somebody made a bad loan. We're talking about lots and lots of these loans out there were procured by fraud. Took advantage of people, were procured by fraud, and something needs to be done about that. And these acts all dance around the problem and ultimately just make us foot the bill as taxpayers.